So welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream for Ustream.tv and also recorded for YouTube for people to watch at their leisure. I'm colouring in the Kerby Rosanes Animorphia, and I had a bit of a play yesterday with my Dr. Martins Hydrus. Something that I haven't used in this book before, but there were some really nice vibrant colours. So I decided to do some pages using these Hydrus books. And so I've zoomed in a bit. I've got my Hydrus wet, which is different to how I normally use them. So I've got 1 drop of each colour here, a few drops of the greens, ultramarine and cobalt, and some lemon, the cool yellow. I've got my trusty pot of water and my baby wipe because I want a damp brush. And then I'm just going to go over there, and it's very, very quick. And there is a little bit too much colour on here because I've mixed it myself. There is a little bit too much colour on here. And so what I need to do is pick off these leaves. And then when I go back to the top, what will happen is this green leaf here will now be very pale because it's a damp brush. Again, it's not really doing it very, very wet, very, very dry, but it is doing it the other way. Are you? Well, I can't go down the garden, so I've said goodbye.
Come on.
No, I'm not coming down there, darling.
Why?
Well, one is I can't get any shoes on. I'm recording, Sam.
Sorry.
Yeah, can't really go down there, darling. I have said goodbye to her. Sorry, we are just going to go down the garden and bury another pet. How many pets are in the garden? I can't count. But that's what happens when we rescue them, so they don't live forever, bless them, do they? Thank you, darling. So
Come on.
Alfie, come in here. Would you just pass me a tube for him and he can come in here? Good boy, Alf. It was nearly tea time, but everybody's home now, so they're going to go. Alfie, what's this? Oh, you bad puppy. No, he's back to his normal self. He's so bad back to his normal self. So I want a bit of a darker green there. And that cobalt blue. But I am testing them because I like that greeny blue, but I don't want that for leaves. I'm going to take that for the birds. Could you possibly send me a chew or something, and then you might just calm down? So French ultramarine and yellow is quite a nice one, but I'm going to have to get. It's going to be quite a dark leaf, and I'm going to have to move. Sorry about this. I'm going to have to move the book. I would have to put those away now because I don't need them. Could you shut the door, please? Thank you. So there's a rose here, and there's some green leaves. And I don't know why everybody in the family starts to talk when they know I'm recording, so sorry about that. I used to have so many. I used to cut out more than I used to save on the videos. Right, so we've got a leaf there. I'm going to do that rose and that rose. Oh, that's good, Dorothy. I don't know how if I want to do that because our BT one is not particularly good. Do we want a red rose? Do we want a red rose or an orange rose? What other flowers have we got? We haven't really, have we? We could possibly have a vivid red rose. These are wonderful colours, and it's such a shame not to use them. Now this is a damp brush, but there is quite a lot of colour on here, probably more than I'd like. But you can do two things. You can nip it and take a bit of dampness out, and that will just slow that flow of paint out a bit. But by the time we've been up here and gone right round, in theory, it doesn't always work because it depends on how damp the paintbrush is and how much you've managed to get. And there, by the time we come right round, this should be pale, and that should be pale, and then this should be very pale then. So that's all with the same brush and the same colour, but I've still managed to get a bit of a highlight on there. And again, just a little touch, probably a little bit too much again for the dark underneath. If you do all the dark underneath first, that damp brush is still working. It's keeping all that colour flowing. So if you do all your darks, you've got one paintbrush, and this is why I love working this way. It's so easy. You just go around the whole block with one brush, but you don't go over all of it because you want it all to be different. And so all this becomes different, and I may just have to go in the other room. So I've got quite a nice effect, and there is a little bit of colour left on there actually, which I probably don't want to waste. I might do some, in fact, if there's another flower on the other side, can't see another red rose, which is unusual for Kerby because normally he hides things all over the place. So I've got a pale pink. I might go onto this page and just colour these in, because although it's quite pale, they are vibrant colours. Oops! I'll have to go. Come here, please. Well, if you had to jump to the door, you wouldn't have hurt your back. Do you want to get under there, please, now? Get under there. Nobody's having something that you're not. Are you going to be naughty, Alfie? Are you sitting looking at me? So now you're under my chair, so I can't move the chair now. Sorry about that. Alfie's back to his usual self of winding everybody up. Did you hurt your back? Well, you shouldn't jump at the door. He thinks he's back to normal, so sorry about that. He's not. So I'm just, because I've got this colour, I can't waste it. And the paintbrush has gone dry now, courtesy of Alfie. Just teasing a little bit of colour. And isn't that a beautiful colour? And yet it's from that. And that's another thing that I learnt when I did my putting colours in my little book. So I'm going to probably do that next week, and it's a job done then, because I want to get this book out to Carol, because I'm conscious of the fact that she hasn't got it. So there's a red rose there actually, look, but I haven't wasted any. He's gone to sit under there now. I mean, normally he sits under there and he's quite okay. I think they've taken the other dogs down. So, dear me. Right. There's all sorts going on here, but I think I'm going to pick these off and do these teal. And that's a nice curvy action for my hand. So I've got Thurlow Blue. I can't speak today. And the other thing I found is this is very quick. It's not like the other way I work. It's really quick. So that's quite good. So I need a damp brush, and then I want just a touch of phthalo blue and a touch of phthalo green, and then just try it. And I've got to be fairly dry because this is still a colour page. Although the Kerby Rosanes are really good. Now if I carry on going down here, I am going to have a natural highlight all the way down. And then I can take that up the middle and you can see it's different. Even though I've only used that bit of difference, I've got a bit of a natural highlight down there. And the same this way, because this is going to be a little bit paler. And it's so quick. I seem to kind of get ideas of quickness by playing. So I do want to do these different, I have to say, but I will do the end fairly pale. And this one. But that was so quick. And I don't have to touch it. I can do if I want, but I don't have to go back there at all. The only difficulty I've got now is this brush is dry. Is I just need to touch. So I've got to go back in and I've just washed my brush out there. Absolutely nothing. So a tight Yorkshire Lass, all that colour that was in there is in that page. It's not on here. And I can't think that works many times with these watercolours because they are so vibrant. So again, I've got a damp brush and I'm just having a little tiny speck of that one and a tiny speck of that one. And I want to get to this in here because it's the top of this. So it's going to be dark, it's going to be bright, vibrant. So I've obviously touched slightly more green than I did blue then, because it's a slightly different colour. So I can, if I wanted to, I can just go over the top of this one if I want and give a bit of a shadow. Or I can carry on and make it very vibrant. And it's going to match up with that one. I've still got quite a good highlight on there. I'm not sure if I want the same coloured ones, but I think they'll change slightly because I'm touching slightly different amounts of blue. So if I do green first and then a touch of blue, and we'll start here with this one. And I didn't get enough on there. So if I touch the green and the blue, and follow that down. Oh, that's a different one. But never mind, I can follow this one down. So I follow it down this side first. And again, it's such a quick, vast way of working. And then at this side, there's going to be a highlight. And then that's behind, so I don't know what colour that one is. Those colours. So I've got a damp brush. Alfie, behave yourself. Blue and green. Come here, what's this? Come and sit with me. Must be tea time. Yes, it's 4 o'clock. They know when it's 4 o'clock, it's tea time. Stop messing about and feed us. Sorry, I'll have to go. You are being so naughty. Can you come here, please? Can you come here, please? Alfie, come here. Come here. What did I say? Who wants one of these? Come here, Alfie. stay there. You're not having any. Alfie, come here. Come on. We've been good. We have the treat pot. Come on, underneath. Tuck up. That's the wrong place. Alfie. Good boy. That's a good boy. Sorry about that. Just had to go. Can't be in there on their own. Now let's see what's happened. Nothing good. That's good. This obviously I've touched slightly more blue than green, so we've got a bluey green instead of a greeny blue. So that would be quite good because I think some plumage is slightly different. So we've got that at this side, and then we can come back up there. Probably touched the wrong one there now. You did the darker one at that side. But I'm so amazed that it's so quick. So we have this one. So I think this is going to be, this could be like a peacock one with a purple inside it. So we could have a very, very bluey teal. Ooh, that's quite nice, that one. And it starts under there. This is such a relaxing way to work. I think it was Scooby that said she was doing it, and it's fairly quick and quite a nice way to work. So I really like that effect. So I hope everybody's okay. So I'm just going to just get the damp brush again because that worked quite well. So I've actually got that colour there, so that's quite nice. So I'm going to just carry on to here. And then I can sweep down here. Well, I can actually do this. I'll do this bit next. I can take some of this colour and kind of sweep. And you could do really with a damp brush, because you need to pick this colour up and you need to keep it moving. But quite damp, you don't want it too wet. And so I don't know what the chances of picking this one up again are. It's a bit too blue, that. I'm just going to go over them because I don't really know. I want a continuation, and I want this highlight to come down here. And I don't think it would do that. So I might go back to the riggers actually, because they could really bring some nice effects. And then I just thought I could drop the tiniest amount of, probably too much then, of purple in. Oops, I need another treat for somebody. Realise that he's only had one. There we go. Have that. Thank you. Alfie? Here. What's this? You don't get a treat if you're not good. There you go. Go sit down. Good boy. So there's a bit of a feather. This is purple now. There's no reason why we couldn't do this purple, is there really? Again, I'm being a lot more experimental than I normally am. So damp brush, dunk into the blue, dunk into the green. And I quite like this one, so we'll just go under here first. So I think you could maybe finish a page in an hour, which is completely not heard of for a Kerby Rosanes book. Not the way I normally do it. Oh dear. I've got the treat box, Sam. He's been naughty.
When are you not naughty? You should not be jumping up.
He's jumped at the door and screamed because he hurt his back. So could you take that down because I'm streaming, darling? I'm nearly finished.
You also know what he did. Jumped on the sofa, didn't he?
Oh, I didn't. Chew
Then he couldn't get down.
Well, he nearly jumped on the bed.
Then he fell off the sofa.
Alfie? Come on, Terra. Alfie, come here. You can't have eaten that. Alfie! Oh dear, sorry about this. What a state these two are in. Can you come and sit down now, please? Thank you. Sit down. I'll put you on a lead again. Sorry about that. We have to put him on a lead because he just wants to run around. Oh, sugar. Sam, just get him because his Pickles is trying to get a muzzle off. Thank you.
Not to get it.
I know, but it might be. Just put him on a lead and bring him in here. Honestly, the darn dog.
In there. That's the opposite. Though.
So I want a drop of that and a drop of that. Will you shut the door, darling, please? Thank you. Just keep an eye on Alfie. Oh, you can tell he's back at his normal naughty self. Annoying all the others. He's annoying all the other dogs and making them be naughty. But that's our Alfie. That's our little Alfie pants. So the answer to the question earlier is he's back to his annoying self. Yeah, my children are well behaved, but the dogs are terrible. That's quite a greeny colour, that to teal, but you can't see it very well. And he thinks he's normal. He thinks he's all right now, and you know he's still not out of the woods yet. I mean, he is, but it's quite easy for him to damage his spine. So I've turned around so I can get into this corner. So I'm going to do this long one all the way down here now. So I'm going to touch the green, then I'm going to touch the blue because I quite like this bluey colour. And I think it's all behind there. And this is a little bit wet because there's quite a lot of I've made a mistake there. I'm going to have to rectify that, but I can because this is kind of going green now. So it's going to go greener and paler and paler. I'm just going to keep going. So I hope I'm in frame because if I look up, I because the damp brush is drying out, so I've got to be fairly quick to get that watercolour effect and that natural highlight. So I'm going to start with the green and then the blue, and then I'm going to go back to the top because it's really dark blue up there. And I think it's behind there, and behind there. And then I think I'm going to have to do this one. To let me have enough colour to kind of squidge down here. So I'm going to try just a touch of that, see if I can just make that darker. It's going to be too pale, so we may as well go darker again. It's going to look slightly odd, but I can go over it again if I want to. I'm trying to get just that little bit of colour to the end. But it's a big space, is this. It's a big, vast space to get that watercolour effect in one. So I'm very quick. What on earth is he barking at now? Yeah, I'm going to have to get rid of this video, I think. Because he's enough to upset anybody. I think it's feeding time and he's kind of, you know, you haven't fed me yet and I'm poorly and I'm the boy. Just got away with that, I think. Maybe it's just a bit of a highlight there that I'm not happy with. But I'm wetting the page a bit too much now, so I don't want to. So there's some nice dark highlights under there, so I'm just going to do this one. And we know what that does, that brings out some nice highlights here. And some dark ones down there, so if we leave these clouds white, they're going to look quite nice. Again, this is really, really quick, which kind of goes a bit against the grain for the Kerby Rosanes. Now this is the one that I made the mistake, I think before, wasn't it? Yeah, it wants to be darker. Does everybody else have sound, or is it just me that's and my machine that's not well? I don't know what that is. I think that's a tail, a feather rather. I think that's a feather. So I'm going to do these feathers dark. I could probably do with a smaller brush. And the rigger would actually make the colour probably a little bit better. But it's okay, it's fine. I'm going to go under there with this because we want some colour under there. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Carry On. Thank you. Yeah, they're completely different for me. But these Hydrus are so vibrant. They just really lend themselves to it. But this again is so much quicker to work like this than spending hours and hours picking things off. But I do like doing that when I'm in the mood. But I did find using these different paints as well is quite nice. Because otherwise these are sat in the cupboard. But I do have 3 colour books to use these. I have the Animorphia. But I'm using those in a completely different way. And that's going to be nice, actually, leaving that a white background, I think. Thank you. Heather the Enabler. Oh my. The only thing I do like is to have the page moving in the side that I need to be in. Wow. So, again, we'll have that one. And we'll go back. Must be one under there. I don't know if this is a feather, but we'll use, because we've got this amount of blue, it takes that practice I did yesterday has now taught me how much colour I have left to get it as pale as I want with a damp brush, because otherwise it's not very easy. So if we go under here, and they started walking them again. Everything's been on hold with Alfie being the baby. So I think that's blue, I think that's blue, and that can be blue. Oh, I thought they'd all gone out and they haven't. Oh dear. My husband started talking to the dogs. Oh dear. I didn't think that would work, but I quite like that purple blue on the black. So I'll just turn it gently so I can get to this one. You've got to be a little bit comfortable. And you're not using a lot of paint. So there's a tight Yorkshire lass. I quite like that. You're not making a lot of mess, which again, that's a good thing for me. I think the next one I'll try, pretty sure the next one I'm going to try, if I can see, everybody see what I'm doing. I'll probably try, I think I want that dark. A rigger, I think. I'll go back to rigger, but this round brush is, but if you did this with the other way, this colour flows off here. It's far too strong. We don't really want it to flow like that. We want it to be gentle. And it's feeding time at the zoo. And poor little George, who's a dwarf, he's sitting on in his bed all alone. Oh dear goodness me. I think we've decided on no more bunnies. No more bunnies. We got them to look after Thumper, so Thumper would be okay with a little person, a Furby friend, and I think that's what's kept him alive all these years. Because I did actually put him on his own the night he died, and he hadn't been on his own for years. So I feel a bit guilty about that. But George was getting a bit rough with him. So I put him on his own. And that didn't last. So I've got a really big dark one here, so that's going to be quite good. Bye, Dorothy. Thanks for stopping in. You always make me feel guilty when you say you're going to go do some chores. I'm going to have to start doing something, I think. I can't just sit here and paint all day, every day. But I don't seem to be able to do it. There's no job I can do anymore, so I'm a bit cross with myself. Because if I did any chores, I wouldn't be able to do any art at all. Even making that book today is kind of taking it out on me a little bit. Now, am I going to get this up here so it's going to be a nice pale highlight? That would be good. Just got to be a bit careful with these wings and things. So if I can get to the end of here with my damp brush, I can then go back up here and have a lovely highlight on that feather spine. I can't believe that's taken so little time. So I've managed to get that highlight all the way down there, just with a round brush. No, Suzanne, I can't do anything. I don't even get dressed myself. I can just about go to the toilet myself. That's it. And now I've made that book. Now I've made that book today. That's done. I sit here all day, every day, and I do this. I don't do anything. So, but I feel awfully guilty because everybody else is doing everything. I've missed that little bit there, look in there. But I can't do anything. I get up, I'm in my nightie and I stream, and I sit here until my husband makes me 3 cups of tea and a pint of water. And I do art streaming because it stops me thinking about pain a lot. And I don't know what's behind there. And then when he comes home, I stop streaming and I go sit in the lounge and they give me my tea and I eat it. Then they make me a cup of tea and then they take me to bed. And I get up and I do exactly the same thing. And I feel really, 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 really guilty that my 18-year-old, my 16-year-old now on her own, and hubby, who's 10 years older than me, has to do absolutely everything. I tried to put my boots on today. We tried 6 pairs of boots. I had to go to the vets in my flip-flops, and it's winter in the UK, and it was raining. And not only that, you look a complete barn pot. And I had to go with the doctors in my slippers today because we couldn't get any shoes on because I cannot nip. I went through quite a bad time, Suzanne, until I decided, this is what I can do. This is all I can do. I designed this way of working. I've got hundreds and hundreds of pens, pencils, crayons, felt pens, and I can't use any of them. Luckily, my children draw, and one's gone to art college, and the other one draws. But most of my things are wasted. I'm going to do him a little brown, I think he could be brown. So I used to have a lot of guilt, and I've had to stop it because it was making me very depressed. And the girls were getting a bit cross with me as well. So we decided, it's a puppy with wings. Oh my goodness, it looks like Alfie. Oh gee, it looks like a King Charles Spaniel. And I decided that I just could not, I just have to shut everything off and just play in my little room. And I don't do anything. I sit there and I look at the washing and I think, I can't even put the washer on now. I can't knit the clothes. I can't open the washing machine. So that's a bit crappy. I've missed a bit of purple behind there, but I can touch that there. And I think there's a bit of feather there. I cannot believe that looks like Alfie. Thank you. It is. I do this. This is why I do it 4 or 5 hours every day. And then when anybody comes on in the US, I just sit here till everybody comes home. And that's why sometimes I can't move. But I can sit here 6-8 hours. Really should not have made those books today. Haven't made them for a while, but I needed to make them. But I shall not be able to move tomorrow. I'm not sure what that is. It looks like it's what do you call it? And have we seen the other side? These are Dr. Martins Hydrus. Look at the other side, as white as snow. We have all that almost pure colour. There was only a tiny damp brush. White as snow. So that's because there's no water. Pretty sure. I think that's a hose pipe. I think it's a hose pipe. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Bookworm. Well, that's my intention. People who want to colour and are not depressed, but that can't do what they used to do, can sit and colour and create really nice, pretty pages without having to have thousands of paintbrushes, thousands of brushes, pens, pencils, and doing this action to sharpen a pencil is a no-no. Absolutely no. I did sharpen 2 the other day, and I wanted to throw the sharpener in the bin. So this is designed for people who want to colour but can't colour in the traditional way. But all that's happening is there's going to be a little bit of a bend here. So there's no pressure on your hand at all. I mean, this joint at the moment feels like somebody's trying to bend it backwards. And yet I can just about manage to do that. But if I did any housework or a little chore, I wouldn't even be able to pick a paintbrush up. So I have a choice. Oh dear. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just move the volume thing up a bit. Has anybody else got problems with the volume? Is that better? It might be because I'm looking down, because I'm conscious of the fact that the microphone is literally a couple of inches away from me. Does that sound a little bit better? This is actually bright green, but it doesn't look, I can't get the greens to show up. I don't know why. But I'm playing with the colours, and again, because I've got a limited palette of just these, I'm not really mixing. I did mix these 2 together, but I'm not mixing the others, and I mix the greens. But these I'm using neat, and that again makes it so much easier. The worst thing is shaking the bottles and getting the tubes open so you can put a drop of colour. I would think we could make these little creatures pink or purple maybe. So if I do that, and then I'm probably going to do the bird teal colours, I think. I'm just going to use the green that I made, a normal green, as I call it, a normal green. I made this yesterday, this green, and this is kind of a hose pipe green. And there's another bit here. But this is a very, very, again, quick way of working, which is quite nice. I mean, to do a page in an hour or so, it's been 47 minutes, is completely unheard of. For a Kerby Rosanes picture. But it's very fast, is this, and very colourful as well. But you'd probably have to have maybe 10 different brushes. Is that too loud, or is that okay? I'll put it back to there. Is that a bit better? It might have been the fact I wasn't actually talking, or I wasn't talking forward, if that makes any sense. Oh, that's good. Sometimes I say I'm a bit conscious of the fact that I'm right up in front of the microphone. And doing that page earlier yesterday, while I was watching DD, I did this page and then I did this page. And that was very freeing for me, using colours, colouring in the little creatures, something that I hadn't done before. So that really liberated me for colours. And I did a purple and a pink snail and green turquoisey creatures. So that really liberated me doing that test page, which is the first page. And I quite like the browny grey, and then I did a reddy grey for the wolf, and the tiger is almost orangey red. But that found that really, really freeing. Something that I didn't think I'd be able to do. So by the time I've finished all these little creatures, I'm going to be well on the way to... I should be well on the way to looking at just playing with colour. But these Hydrus paints are absolutely amazing. They're light fast, which they don't need to be, obviously, but they are professional watercolours, but they go a long way. So a tight Yorkshire lass, they're right up my street. Sorry, I was off camera there, I do apologise. I was just doing the little tail there. So we've got some little creatures there. So I think I might just pull out a bit of red for these. And it's turned out to be a pink. And these can be in my little... These Hydrus ones are in my little colour book of colours. I haven't got any more little wormies. I don't think we have we? I think, did I have 18? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. I thought I had 18, but I've got 16, I think. I got 16. I would like the others, but I think I might kind of... I don't know, it depends. I've actually fallen in love with them again yesterday. If I get to an art shop and they're all lined up, then they're going to go in the basket. Because I can't help myself. They jump in the basket. It's nothing to do with me at all. They just jump in there. I think there's about 100 Hydrus colours all together. I'm pretty sure. But the other ones are very unusual colours. They're pinks and teals and turquoises, but they're not professional watercolours and they're not light fast. And they're called, I think they're called concentrates. But I just like these. I like these professional ones. So I've just realised I just have to ask Kerby to put muzzle on. But I cannot believe we can do a page in one session, because normally they take tons and tons of time. So we seem to have a white bunny there. Has she got a muzzle on?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. I've got about... they have wings on the bottles. They have wings on the bottles. Do they have wings on the bottles? Yes, they do. Sorry, Suzanne. I've told you the brain today. Yes. You see, they just see my basket and go, yes, you want me. But they are... I mean, there's so much colour there. I've used a couple of drops. So when I go away and these will dry, but then I can use them as the watercolour way for when I did like Thumper in the Animorphia and the aviary. I did the tiger that I sent to Dee Dee, but I don't know who got it. I hope they loved it. It takes a long time to do it like this. Picked out the wrong one, didn't I? I'm so cross with myself. I bought it again, but I'd probably give it to my daughter. To get this lovely watercolour effect, this is why I use these. And then we started... Let me just put a sticky tag in there. Just a minute. Put tags in them there. I can find them easily. I can't remember which one we did yesterday. I'm pretty sure I started another one, unless I imagined it. Or was it in Animorphia? Oh no, it wasn't. It was the owl. See, I can remember. There we go, look. There's the owl. But that's doing each individual little dot on a very fine brush and knocking using the watercolor effect. Yeah, Carrie Ann says they're very rude, these paints, aren't they? That takes a long time. I just did another video yesterday. That takes about an hour maybe. But it looks amazing. So the tiger I did took hours and hours and hours that I sent for Dee Dee's colour page that we cut up into bits. But I never heard who got mine, so I hope they liked it. But this is using them completely different. If you watch any YouTube videos, just type in Dr. Martins Hydrus, PH Hydrus watercolors. You will find the demonstrator on the site, and she does like an old car and she uses them as professional watercolors. You wet the page, and I will be doing that when I do a bit more. I'm just using them in here as a practice. Oh, there's a blue there. There's the ultramarine blue. But I did mix about 6 or 7 greens there. I've got Thurley. I had Thurlow. No, I didn't. I had cobalt blue and I had French ultramarine, and I had some yellow, and I put it into 4 drops all over. So I've made lots of different greens, some dark greens and some vibrant greens, because the phthalo green is too fake for me. I love it, but it's a very fake green. This is what phthalo green is. Phthalo green and phthalo blue. And they're the teals, but to me I don't really want teals when I'm doing plants. I want proper green colours. So I'm not sure what colour to do the clouds, and I think there's enough blue there. I think we need to break it up a little bit, but oh, I'm going to do them orange. I think I shall do them orange. So I've just got a touch of orange, and if I drag that, it's a reddy orange though. It's I think it's a pale cad red. Don't think this is the colour I meant to pick up. Sorry, I'm off camera. This is like a cad red. But if I had a cerulean blue, I probably wouldn't buy any more. I would make all my own colours, because you want probably 1 drop of yellow, 2 or 3 drops of yellow to 1 drop of French ultramarine to get a really nice deep rose teal, kind of rose colour. Thank you, Timothy. And again, I've just done that all in one straight away. Now if I have a damp brush and I have just a touch of this colour, in theory what I can do is, if I stay there, is if you start dark and keep right on the end of the paintbrush where all that colour is, by the time you get to the bottom, the damp water brush is teasing through that colour, and you end up with some really nice colours, but you've got a natural highlight. And I quite like that idea. And that's 1 paintbrush, one go, that's it. And I really like that idea. That's what makes it quick and it makes it easy. And I've just forgotten his little legs under there. So we've got 2 of those fish there. I'm going to have a purple caterpillar, I think, because I've got purple on here. So let's just do him purple. And again, I would never have done that before, but we have a purple caterpillar. And of course these colours go beautiful with a fantasy picture because they're all fantasy colours. They're really vivid fantasy make-believe colours. So they mix really well. You've just got to be careful not to be too wet because you'll go through, but I haven't done yet, but this is the first time. And because that's a smaller cloud, I can get away with that. So I'm just going to turn the page that way because I have a cloud. I have 2 clouds. I might just do this one pale because it's behind here. And I've got a lot of colour still on this brush. But you can't let your brush dry out, and you can't really do anything else. You've got to get this done. I'm actually tempted to do this one as well. As you can see, from one paintbrush you can get so many awesome colours just by adding water. Yeah, I quite like that one. It's not as vibrant, but it's quite nice. And I keep washing my brush out. How cool is that? So as a tight Yorkshire lass, every scrap of paint that I am using is going on that page. And you can't really get any better than that, really. Now I've got some little fishies. So we're going to have... I think I might just do... Just check that colour. Oh, that's quite nice for fish, but it's not quite nice for birds as well. No, I think I'm going to do the fishies that colour. It's a golden yellow. In fact, I probably should have done Alfie that colour as well. I cannot believe that looks like Alfie. It's even got his tail. How scary is that? And sometimes it's quite nice to have no background, just a plain white background. And so we've got some more little funny creatures. We've got another caterpillar, so I suppose he's got to be purple, hasn't he? Just found another fish. Can't find any more fish. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't got a clue. Yes, inks are good for colouring books as well. But again, you've got to be a smidgen careful that things... Oh, there's a Rubik's Cube there. That things don't go through. Not quite sure what to do with that. I'm going to do him this colour because I want to. I think there's a phthalo. Not a phthalo. I've got a phthalo on the brain. Alfie, sit down and be a good boy. I like these little pink creatures now, these little pink fuffies. Sam, darling, could you shut the doors when you go through them, please? Thank you. believe that this is doing really, really quickly. There's a little person there, look, with a little smiley face. I thought if I really didn't like pink eyes, I'd do them a little Posca colour, but I'm going to do the claws pink, I think. I had thought about doing these brass, but I'm doing pink. There's a Rubik's Cube, so that's got to be kind of yellow at one side. So a Rubik's Cube is yellow at one side, and oops, I want a thingy red, so I need a bit more. Red at one side. Uh-oh, I've wasted some colour. Should have done those creatures red, shouldn't I? And then we can have a green. And then we'll have green at this side. So a little Rubik's Cube. I think we might have a little, we're going to have a green caterpillar that's on some green stars. Yeah, we'll have some green stars. Again, Yorkshire Lass, I've got the green on there. And I don't know what that is. And these little creatures could be green. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kango. Yes, go green. I did have a bit of a pink moment there, didn't I? And then I'm going to have a blue bun, a turquoisey blue bun. I think we're going to have don't have any more clouds, do we? We need a purple caterpillar. And we're nearly there. I found a little creature. He's normally pink. I've got pink on there. So we've got a purple caterpillar. And he can have purple wings. And be blue. Have a blue and purple fan. It's a bit dark actually, but let's brighten it up a little bit. I think that's almost it. There's just these birds, but I've got purple here, so sorry, Mr. Birds, you're going to be purple. Because I just thought I would make them a brown colour, then I realised I'm not in that mood. I'm in an imaginary colour mood, and it would also get rid of all that purple on that brush. So I'm going to give him a purple beak, very pale, and some purple fronds. Alfie, shush. And then I shall do the bird, and then we're done. So I need some blue and some green. We'll start under here and push all this colour about. I could do it a little bit more phthalo blue, but we'll start under here. Got to be a little bit brave. Because this damp brush can push all that colour around quite nicely. When that damp dries, I can go back over it if I need to. Oh, sorry, I was off camera then. Sorry. I'm going to start under here. Should have probably had a bit bigger brush because these feathers are going to get extremely big in a minute. Just see if I can just touch a smidgen of water. Just dunking, this is what I did before, just dunking that tip back in just a little bit to reconstitute that colour. I'm going to leave that top one because I want that one to come across. Here. This is extremely quick. And of course you've got Kerby Rosanes hatching, and what I call hatching and cross hatching for shadow. So all the hard work's really done for you. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. Sorry, carry on. I do apologise. Take my glasses off now. So I wanted a bit of this colour from here. And again, it's that damp brush that's teasing all that gorgeous colour. Thank you, Kingo. Thank you. Probably could do with a little bit more phthalo blue out. But I like the fact that it's got the green and the green. Now we've got to work backwards now. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but we'll try. I'll probably do under here first. Really sorry, just going to have to go upside down. I always turn the colour book where it's more comfortable for you. Otherwise, if you go over your line, you'll be a bit cross. I'm really sorry, I'm in my own light. Just touching the very tip, which is activating more colour. But each time I move across, this colour is getting naturally paler and paler, so I don't have to do anything. Just have to keep going. And it's doing all that blending and all that mixing together for me by itself. It might just be a little bit too pale, but I'm just going to see if we can get away with it. I need a very damp brush. I've got to pick up all that blue because I don't have a lot of phthalo blue now. To start here. And the trick is to keep going. And then there just isn't enough for the blending on this one. And I'm just not happy with that, so I'm just going to go over that a little bit. So that turned out quite well actually, considering the fact that I've just scribbled it on. That turned out quite good. And I've still got quite a lot of colour. The only one I've used is the teal. I've used a drop of the teal there, and I still got the phthalo green there, but the phthalo, I've used probably a whole drop, that's a little bit liquid, of phthalo green and phthalo blue. But all the other colours have kind of got away with it. So I hope that was okay. So it's taken about an hour and 20 to do that. So I was quite impressed with the colours, but the colours have done all the work. I haven't done all the work at all. And the brush, the damp brush helps. And again, this is the butterfly page on the other side. And the lovely thing is, it's dried already. And I've got that lovely natural highlight by doing nothing but just keep going. I can't believe that looks like Alfie. Gee whiz. I probably shouldn't have done him gold, but he's done. It was playing with these teal colours, these colours. Again, the same as this what gave me the idea. So it's only the second time I've done it, so I might get better the next time. These were the colours I used, and then I thought I'd play with these. So it's only the second time I've used them like that. Probably with a different brush, things would be different. But that's now, I was too scared to touch this page, whereas I'm not scared now. And that's because I had to play on this practice page here. If I hadn't have done this, I would never have done that. So again, this lets you be a bit daring. And if you can't be daring in your book, photocopy it. I've gone from photocopying to being daring in the book. And it's got me here. So you've got to be a little bit brave. And I did love the watercolours. It's just I didn't know how they would react. But again, if you haven't got a lot of pennies, or if you like value for money, the sets are, I think, about £50, the first set. But I would buy them individually. I would buy 6 individually, a mixture on colours. And I can't do that yet until I get this cerulean blue. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, everybody. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to stop the video there. So again, this is Dr. Martins Hydrus watercolours, which is easy to do when you've got a bowler finger. Thanks for watching.